Welcome to Tamila's World.
Hello everyone, good afternoon from Tokyo. Today I have a great pleasure to speak with Eugina, who is now based in Bali, and she's an international pleasure and intimacy coach, speaker, and co-founder of the Orgasmic Queen. Hi, how are you today?
Hi, I'm great. I'm great. I love when people say the orgasmic queen because like it brings out so many emotions and it's like some people like, oh, did she just say the O word?
I like the title. I want to be also one of the co-founder.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
So yes, thank you for being part of our community. And you are lucky. We just had the conversation that you are now in the Bali. So in the Bali, things are still seems very okay. So can you share a little bit more about your background, how you became the orgasmic queen, and what is your story?
Sure. Oh, thanks so much for having me and inviting me for this interview. I'm really, really honored to be here with you. And yes, as you said, I'm in Bali right now, and my life story brought me here. And actually, people often ask me, how did I start doing what I'm doing? Because, like, working in the space of sexuality or orgasms, it's like quite taboo things, and people not always talk about it. And in fact, this is exactly what have inspired me to be in this space because since very young age, I was always very self-expressive, and I got bullied at school for my self-expression. So then further on, it's like I had like experiences where I've been abused, like sexually abused, emotionally abused, um, and physically abused. And I didn't know how to deal with that. So I grew up with the parents who were loving to have a drink and fight. So it's like there was violence in my life all the time. So my values have been a bit disturbed. I always was looking for love and wanting love. However, somehow I was always noticing that I was sabotaging my relationship. And one day I have looked back when I was like separating from one of my partners in the past. I looked back at my relationships and I was like, hold on a minute. All of my relationships are somewhat the same. Maybe that's not them. Maybe that's me. And that really has been the beginning of something big. And it's like, I remember this conversation with my mother where she would call me and she would complain about my father. And I told her, Mom, if you don't like it, just leave. But then I put the phone down and I was like, oh my God, I've got exactly the same complaints about my partner at this time. Why don't I take my own advice? And I did it, and I started really looking inside of myself. What is stopping me from having this loving relationship? I have understood that intimacy in my life was like non-existent. Like, for example, to I remember this one guy, he invited me to go on a date. And I was like, yeah, and I really liked the guy. And I was like, oh my God, I really fancy him. So let's just go on a date. And I was like, let's go to a spa, let's like, so. And he was like, no, let's go somewhere where we can talk. I really want to get to know you. And I remember that so freaked me out. I got so scared. It's like, why do you want to talk to me? Like, I don't want to talk to you. I just want to enjoy your body. That's all, because that was something that I was only comfortable with. Like, I wasn't comfortable to show myself as a woman, as a human. I was not comfortable showing my emotions and share my desires. That has been like completely like a no-go territory for me. And I've been living like that for a long time, and it's like, and as a result, my body was numb, not being able to connect with people on emotional level. and not showing myself also like numbed my body. So my pleasure centers, even though I loved like sensuality and everything, but I couldn't feel the full impact of human interaction on me. And when I started healing myself and my past, because unfortunately we take all all the programs from our parents, and like it all begins when we are very young, and just like go deeply and unpack all of that. It actually enabled me to help other people. So I accumulated so many skills that I was like, okay, I can see so many people need this, and I was one of them. So now I'm really sharing my skills with the world. I'm working with women from all over the world. I'm also working with men and really supporting them into creating something that is so much more valuable than any material stuff, because essentially all of us want to feel love. Intimacy is our biological need, and so many just refuse that biological need created like I'm stronger on my own. Kind of is like my idea was like I'm an independent woman, I don't need anybody, when actually inside I was crying. It's like, oh my God, just don't give up on me, just don't give up, just tell me how much you love me. I'm gonna be screaming and shouting and gonna tell you things that are completely opposite to what I want, but I want love. And when I actually became very okay with wanting love the way I do, my life changed, and my belief system around love have changed, and my reality has changed also.
So, Eugina, I'm also curious. You said you understand now how is important to have connection with that intimacy on the first place. So, how you are helping your clients and how you are changing their lives and their intimacy to have a better relationship, better sex, or what depends on what they want. And how do you usually work with your clients? Is that coaching one-on-one? Is that coaching you and the couples, or you are separate, men and women, or you are working in the group? Can you just give us idea how usually you work with your clients and what kind of transformation they can get from you?
Sure. Thank you for asking this question. I love talking about the successes of my clients, because it's like, oh, I did such a great job here. So what people usually come with me, some want better sex, some want start dating because like they seem to attract the wrong people, like they seem to be always waiting. Like right now I'm working with lots of women. I have got a massive women's group called the Orgasmic Queen Self-Love, and also I'm creating some separate projects from that. So women's problems are that it's like, oh my God, I keep on waiting on the text or reply from this guy, and I don't know what to do. Have I done something wrong? It's like maybe I said something that actually drawn him away, or maybe I need to be more of this or less of this. Maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I'm like just too big or like too small, or like whatever that is. So women always start finding the faults in themselves, why they are not having the relationship they want. And like the example of my client would be the best thing to do. It's like one of my clients, she came to me and she was like, oh my God, Eugina, I keep on attracting these guys that are actually very narcissistic. And like she kept on, like her last relationship was, she flew from Europe to Australia to be with this man. And over the phone, on the distance, the relationship was so like beautiful and engaging, and he was like always telling her how much he loves her and how good she looks and giving her compliments, and it was so like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. So when she flew to Australia and she was meant to spend there 3 months with this man, he just completely switched, and like completely switched to the point that, you know, she would make a meal and he would not even like say anything about the meal. She would like spend 5 hours cooking and he would not say even a word about was it good, was it not good, you know, like nothing. It's like constantly would start criticizing her, constantly would start telling her, like, from going, it's like, oh my god, I love all of your clothes and what you're wearing, to it's like, no, you can't wear this, no, being very controlling. And like the sometimes that we would speak, you know, she would have like a black eyes, that situation really would get her so down. It would be like really like heartbreaking to witness. And I'm not saying that many women are in the same situation, but unfortunately they are. And when we started working together, we have realized that she had um, been looking for a partner who would fulfill her father's role. Essentially, her father always was somewhat similar, you know, like very emotionally unavailable. So she had a belief that men only want to have fun with her, so she would never allow to go deeper into a relationship. So through our work, like after 3 sessions exactly, she started dating a guy who she found it was like completely opposite to that. And she like, because she never thought that she could date somebody who she's crazy about, you know. And then this guy is like, I remember we was having conversation and she's like, oh my god, I just get so hot when I just look at this guy, you know. And it's like, even the idea of him, you know, was like blowing her mind away. And she's like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. And it's like, and then next thing we know, that he invited her on a date. And not only on a date, but they started dating continuously, you know, because lots of girls, what they're going through, it's like after you going on a date, the guy will never message you back, or, you know, you're waiting and you don't know what's happening. And like, when I'm working with my clients and giving them tools to clear up all the belief system that is underneath that, because essentially it's not the guy, it's you. It's you. Everything starts within, you know. And it's like with women, what we're doing, and with men too, we are hiring people to prove us our story. And if your story is disempowering, and it's like that, my story was all men want to hurt me, and I was attracting the man who was hurting me. Now my story, I'm a queen and I'm attracting only kings. So yeah, I want more women to experience that, because we are so busy to please other people. And when that happens, we're forgetting that when we try to please other people at the cost of our own happiness, the true intimacy and true happiness will never be achieved. And me personally, I'm very playful. I love to play. I love to play games. I love to create like fun environment, and also in the same time get to know each other better. So one of the ways to actually even begin getting to know each other on a whole new level would be to start like maybe slowly, one step at a time. And especially if like a couple have never done something like that, and if you're single, you can do this with yourself actually, and it's super simple. And just you can start with like asking yourself one simple question, like, how do I love to be loved? How do I want to be loved?
So this situation we can really use to discover, as you said, how do we want to be loved? That's a very good question. So Eugenia, for the old people who are now maybe suffer from some kind of trauma from the childhood or from when they were teenagers, or maybe even from this financial crisis, how they can find you and how they can actually. So, what is your presence online? Do you have some social media channels or a blog or website?
Yes.
So, how people can actually know more about you and contact you?
Oh, sure. Well, Eugina O Liberty, it's my name on Facebook, on Instagram, and YouTube. I post videos on YouTube. I'm not so active, although I'm really trying to put more attention in that. You can join my group called the Orgasmic Queen Self Love. And for men, my group is called Creating Kings. So I'm all about royalty, you know. Yes, and yeah, I would love to hear from you. I would love to see if I can support you, give you tools, and I share quite a lot of content online, and it's free content. Also, you can just email me, and my email is eugina@euginaoliberty.com.
What is your ideal day? How your ideal day looks like, or in Bali right now? So from the morning to the evening, like how you create your day and say, this is the way how I want to live, this is the way how I enjoy, and this is the way how I want to be loved.
You know, it's actually a beautiful question. Thanks for asking. And I used to structure my day a lot, but now I don't. I don't structure. I just take the inspired action, and I really like. I started doing this thing that I never did before, which, well, in the morning I meditate and like really tune into myself. I really connect with myself, and then I read a prayer, but prayer that comes from within, and in that prayer I am asking for inspired guidance, so that I can take inspired action and show up and be my best self in the world, to serve my community, to serve people around me, and to be authentic to myself. So whether that is, you know, wake up and have appointments from 8 in the morning, because this is sometimes also happening. I wake up and I do that with a smile, so that every single thing that I do, whether that's cooking, whether that's, you know, working, whether that's going for a walk, that it's something that brings me joy. Because like, I believe in fuck yeah. so, so I try to live my life on a fuck yeah kind of basis, you know. So if my state tells me is like fuck yeah, then I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this right now. And if it's like I'm not so sure about that, then it's a no. So it's like, whether I'm staying at home and talking to my friend, it feels good to me. Whether I'm going out for a walk, that has to feel good to me. You know, it's like, I understood, the more I allow myself to feel good about everything I do, the better vibration I emanate and radiate, and more, actually, I do better not only for myself, but for the people around me.
Co-founder of the Orgasmic Queen, and also for the men. What is the name of the group for the men?
Creating Kings.
Creating Kings. So guys or women who are watching this video, please be free to join us and find what your fuck yeah is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm looking forward to see you more often in our community, and also like I believe I will join in your community as well. Thank you so much.
Yes, beautiful. And thank you so much for having me. I really, really enjoyed this conversation with you. And like, I'm so honored to be invited to be part of your community. So thank you so much.
Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you.
Yes, likewise.